Good morning, DSST. Before you get started on your letter to a frontline worker today, we're just going to go over the prompt and what is expected within the prompt. So you've already read a letter that has some elements that are really strong, others that I think could be improved, so that when you go to write your letter, you have the strongest letter possible. So just to review here, the prompt is, this week you have read numerous positive examples that are occurring despite the challenges. Good morning, DSST. Today we're going to go over some direct instruction just to get you set up to write your letter and do some of the pre-writing that's going to be helpful to you as you go to ultimately draft your letter at the end of class today. So this week you have read numerous, and please go ahead and follow along with me, positive examples that are occurring despite the challenges posed by COVID-19. In letter format, write a thank you to frontline workers, and these frontline workers could be doctors, nurses, pharmacists, social workers, bus or Uber drivers, grocery store workers, those who deliver food, cafeteria workers, or anyone else you can think of, right, that is a frontline worker, currently fighting the COVID-19 pandemic. Your letter should be a minimum of 250 words, right? And you're going to check that by going up to Tools and Word Count here, and it will give you the number of words that you have. Include a connection between the current world. You're gonna have to do this in your letter, and a challenging event from the past or from history. So some of you might think about an event that you've learned in history that relates to this, right? You can use that, but if you are struggling, I provided a document that you can read about 9/11 and a historical connection you can make there, right? Second, you need to name specifically who you are thanking, right? It's not a general thanks, it should be specific, right? And you can think about the examples of frontline workers we've read about this week, and if you need some specifics there. Next, you need to include specific details about one of the upstanders you read this week. So what are they doing that is so heroic right now in the face of this global pandemic? And last but not least, you've got to explain how you are personally connected or benefit from the work of these from those who are on the front lines, right? So how are you benefiting from doctors, nurses? Even if you're not sick, right, you might be benefiting from one of those groups. I'm sure you are in some way, so please make sure that you're explaining that. So just to stamp this, you're making a historical, so please go ahead and type this in, connection. An example of that would be 9/11. Second, you are providing specific thanks, right, to one of the frontline workers. Third, you need to provide specific details about the actions of a frontline worker, right? What is something specific they did? And this could be one of the frontline workers you read about this week. And then last but not least, how are you personally grateful for frontline workers? So if you do all of these components, then you will have a successful letter. Thank you.